Hello, very good evening. You're watching the news tonight on Rajya Sabha television with me, Frank Pereira. Here are the headlines. Medium to heavy polling in the states of Punjab and Goa. Punjab recorded 70% voter turnout for 117 seats, while Goa saw 83% voting for its 40-member house. Top leaders of all major parties hold election rallies in Uttar Pradesh. Prime Minister Narendra Modi kickstarts his election campaign from Meerut. Mayawati addresses two rallies in Bareilly and Firozabad. The economy will grow upwards of 7% next fiscal. Economic Affairs Secretary Shaktikanta Das has said. Now expresses confidence that the impact of demonetization on the economy will not spill over to the next fiscal. And US judge issues a temporary nationwide block on President Donald Trump's ban on travelers from 7 nations. Federal Judge James Robert rules against administration claims that US states can't challenge Trump's executive order. And first up, our special segment on the ongoing assembly elections in verdict 2017. Punjab witnessed nearly 70% voting for the 117 assembly seats in the state today. Moderate to long queues were seen outside many of the 22,614 polling stations. The state is witnessing a three-cornered fight for the first time, with the Aam Aadmi Party joining the fray along with old rivals Congress and the Shiromani Akali Dal BJP combined.
Amid tight security and braving a cold wave, people came out in large numbers to cast their vote for the 117 assembly seats in a single-phase polls. Voters who will decide the fate of 1,145 candidates flashed their inked fingers as they stepped out of polling booths. Over 200 companies of paramilitary forces were deputed for the fair conduct of polls.
The poll in Punjab today has been smooth, peaceful, and no major incident has been reported of the violence and intimidation. At 5 p.m., the tentative figure reported from various channels like SMS, on phone calls is 70%, 70%.
हमारे इंडिया के अंदर में डेवलपमेंट सड़कें अच्छी होनी चाहिए. आज का जो ड्रग्स का जो मसला है भी काफी यहाँ पे पंजाब के अंदर में ज्यादा फैला हुआ है.
बस यही चाहते हैं कि आगे जो भी सरकार है सबसे पहले रोजगार और पढ़ाई के सबसे ज्यादा मौके पैदा करें.
हमारे जो बच्चे हैं हमने जिन पे इतनी पढ़ाई कराई है उनको मतलब कि उन्होंने इतने पेपर दिए हैं, पास भी हुए हैं, तो उनको अच्छी नौकरी मिलेगी. और जो हमारे जो सड़कें जो है ट्रैफिक जाम रहता है, तो उस ट्रैफिक जाम का कोई इंतजाम किया जाएगा, तो हमें मतलब कि टैक्स प्रॉपर्टी टैक्स में छूट दी जाए.
Among those who cast their vote included Punjab Chief Minister Prakash Singh Badal, Deputy Chief Minister Sukhbir Singh Badal, his wife and Union Minister Harsimrat Kaur Badal. The voters also included Punjab Congress President Amrinder Singh and his wife Praneet Kaur. New Congress member Navjot Singh Sidhu, Sucha Singh Chotepur of Apna Punjab Party, Bhagwant Mann and Gurpreet Singh Guggi of Aam Aadmi Party also cast their votes. Cricketer Harbhajan Singh along with his mother Avtar Kaur also exercised their franchise.
कुछ नहीं लग रहा, हमने कई दफा इनसे मुकाबला किया है और बड़ी बुरी तरह हराया. ये पहली दफा नहीं है कि हम कोई मुकाबले में लड़े.
Unemployment, agriculture collapse, industrial collapse, trade collapse, पंजाब हर तरीके से गवर्नेंस के बिल्कुल खत्म. ये सारे इश्यूज हैं और पंजाब अगर आज हमें वोट डाल रहा है, जो खबर आ रही है पूरे पंजाब से, इट इज अ वोट फॉर स्टेबिलिटी एंड गुड गवर्नेंस.
मुझे लगता है कि हर जिम्मेदार नागरिक को जो भी अपने देश के संविधान को और डेमोक्रेसी को प्यार करता है उसे अपना वोट जरूर कास्ट करना चाहिए. अच्छे समाज के निर्माण के लिए ये पहली नींव है.
A technical snag was also reported in EVM machines in Manjitha and Sangrur. Punjab Minister Bikram Singh Manjithia was unable to cast his vote due to the technical snag in Manjitha constituency in Amritsar district.
Someone is a labourer doing menial jobs. For them, going out and doing their work to ensure that they get their daily wage is most important. So they had come out early in the morning to vote. But it's been over 3 hours, 40 odd machines are not working in the constituency.
For the first time, Punjab is witnessing 3 coordinate contests on all the 117 seats. Nearly 2 crore voters will decide the fate of 1,145 candidates, including 81 women. The counting of votes for all 5 seats will begin on March 11th. Anu Diwan's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Goa saw a record voter turnout of 83% in today's polling. This election tests the expansion plans of Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party, which debuts in the state. Votes for Goa will be counted on March 11th along with the other 4 poll-bound states.
Voters in Goa queued outside polling booths on Saturday to cast their vote for all 40 constituencies to decide the fate of 250 candidates. More than 11 lakh voters exercised their franchise this election day across 1,642 polling booths with paramilitary forces and state police guarding them all.
The turnout has come to be the record turnout in Goa. While it was in the last assembly election, it was 81.8%. Till now, the information received is 83%. 83%. Tentatively, till now, it is 83%. 84% in North Goa and 81.5% in South Goa.
विकास कैसे होना चाहिए ये तो हमें एग्जैक्टली मालूम मीन्स एग्जैक्टली हम इसमें क्या अपना ओटी डाल सकते हैं ओके तो हमें सिर्फ कई मुद्दों क्षेत्रों में विकास चाहिए
उत्साह से भाग लेकर के ये अपना ड्यूटी है कि हम जो है वोट डालें और कहीं भी हो एनी पार्ट ऑफ द वर्ल्ड और कंट्री हमको आना चाहिए और मुझे वोट देना चाहिए.
The election is a close fight between the 4 major players, BJP, Congress, Aam Aadmi Party and the MGP-led alliance, who have been campaigning in the coastal state for the last 2 months. Defence Minister and former Chief Minister of the state, Manohar Parrikar, was among the early voters at Panaji and claimed that BJP will get 2/3 majority this time, even as the Congress eyes a similar mandate.
Goa votes very heavy, and this is one of the speciality what BJP has inducted into the politics of Goa to increase the voting. Last time we managed to get it to around 84. This time we may be able to get even crossing 85. Initial indications are good. As far as I am concerned, we are concerned, BJP expects mandate with 2/3 majority.
Goan people by and large will vote to see that BJP government does not come back to power. Everybody says that he will get the majority. But people will show on 11th of March who gets the majority.
I'm sure that we are coming to power with absolute and with comfortable majority. And our priority will be continuing the stress on development of infrastructure and social welfare network that we have already created. And more than that will be emphasis would be laid on creation of jobs.
To urge more women voters to come out and vote, polling booths with a pink colored theme had been designed. Besides this, Goa also became the first state to have voter-verified paper audit trail or VVPAT machines installed along with EVMs.
It's a very good concept because they are sort of encouraging women to come and vote. It's an excellent thing, I think. And as you know, we've been failed by all the governments, so we are looking for a change. Hopefully, we will get something.
In spite of you being an educated lady, हम लोग हाउसवाइफ होके रह जाते हैं. इस कॉन्सेप्ट से मुझे लग रहा है कि ज्यादा से ज्यादा हाउसवाइफ बाहर निकलेगी और अपना राइट जानेगी. एक्चुअली स्पीकिंग, आप लोग घर पढ़े लिखे हैं ना तो फिर भी until you get some practical experience, आपको पता नहीं चलता है कि आपके राइट क्या है, आपकी ड्यूटीज क्या है. So I think it's a very nice concept.
For the current polls, Aam Aadmi Party is contesting on 39 seats, Congress on 37 and BJP on 36. BJP, which had a pre-poll alliance in 2012, is going it alone this time but is supporting independents in 4 constituencies. Saturday's elections are also the biggest test yet for the expansion plans of Arvind Kejriwal's Aam Aadmi Party, which is debuting in Goa and Punjab. Pranav Goswami's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi initiated a high-pitched campaign for his party in western Uttar Pradesh today. Addressing a public rally in Meerut, Prime Minister sought complete majority for the BJP and accused his party's political opponents of corruption and nepotism.
Wooing voters in Meerut, Prime Minister Narendra Modi attempted to put his party in a pole position in the assembly elections in Uttar Pradesh by making it BJP versus others in the state. and terming all others with an acronym SCAM, meaning Samajwadi Party, Congress, Akhilesh and Mayawati.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi addressed a public meeting in Meerut after 3 years, urging them to repeat their magic for the BJP in the upcoming assembly polls. He promised all-round development of the state if his party is voted to power.
ये स्कैम के खिलाफ भाजपा की लड़ाई है। स्कैम का मतलब है एस समाजवादी, सी कांग्रेस, ए Akhilesh, M Mayawati.
The Prime Minister also took a dig at the Samajwadi Party Congress alliance, calling it political opportunism.
ऐसा गठबंधन पहली बार देखा जो सुबह शाम एक दूसरे के खिलाफ, और आज से नहीं पिछले कई दशकों से एक दूसरे को खत्म करने के लिए कोई मौका नहीं छोड़ते थे। आज गले लग करके बचाओ बचाओ बचाओ।
Prime Minister Modi is spearheading the BJP's poll campaign in Uttar Pradesh in the triangular fight for the seat of power in the state. Vishal Daya's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
But with the election fever gripping the state, political leaders are addressing multiple rallies in Uttar Pradesh, leaving no stone unturned to retain power. Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav addressed a high-voltage rally in Auraiya district. Meanwhile, BSP President Mayawati addressed 2 election rallies in Bareilly and Firozabad to garner maximum support for her party.
Political bigwigs had a busy day in Uttar Pradesh campaigning for their parties. Chief Minister Akhilesh Yadav addressed a rally in the Auraiya district of Bidhuna. Defending the Samajwadi Party's alliance with the Congress, he said a victory will be compliment to the party patriarch Mulayam Singh.
मदद करना हमारी, ये चुनाव ये समझ लेना हम ही चुनाव लड़ रहे हैं, जीतेंगे हारेंगे हम ही और कोई नहीं। अगर हराना चाहते हो तो सोचो कहां पहुंच जाएंगे हम लोग। ये जिताना हम लोगों को।
BSP Supremo Mayawati addressed 2 election rallies in Bareilly and Firozabad. She accused the Samajwadi Party-led state government of encouraging Gunda Raj, while claiming that the BJP government had not fulfilled its promises.
जनता के सामने हकीकत यही है कि प्रदेश की वर्तमान सपा सरकार में यहाँ शुरू से ही अराजक, आपराधिक, सांप्रदायिक, भ्रष्ट व जंगल राज आदि ही व्याप्त रहा है।
Uttar Pradesh is all set to enter the high-voltage 7-phase polling between February 11th and March 8th. Counting of results will take place on 11th of March. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Well, it's time for a short break now, but news and updates will continue on the other side. Stay tuned. We'll be right back.
Hello and welcome to Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Amritan Shurai.
Senior lawyers should spend some of their time for arguing for the weaker section.
Lawyers should also have that same social commitment and dedication.
There are new schemes under which catchment areas of good lawyers being brought into the system.
Discriminating the cooperative sector, doesn't it create a violation of Article 40?
Whether cooperative societies and cooperative banks are to be treated as equal is itself a question of equality.
Join us as we try to understand contemporary issues related to the Constitution. Watch Constitutionally Yours on Rajya Sabha Television.
Taking its name from the abundance of simul or red silk cotton trees that bloom vividly here. The Simlipal National Park is home to 3 of India's biggest animal species: tiger, Asiatic elephant and gaur. Spread over a sprawling area of 2,750 square kilometers, set on a wide expanse of sal forest, this park is nestled in the very center of Mayurbhanj in Odisha. It is one of the most breathtaking nature reserves in India, with forests, grassy meadows and some beautiful waterfalls like Joranda and Barehipani. It is also home to an astounding 1,078 species of plants, including 94 species of orchids.
Tales that inspire. Stories of social change. A salute to diversity. Promoting public discourse. Events that motivate. Inspiring the innovative spirit. Watch Rajya Sabha television documentaries.
Gir, the last refuge of the Asiatic lion. The national park comprises 1,412 square kilometers of deciduous forest, interspersed with semi-evergreen and evergreen flora, acacia, scrub jungle, grasslands and rocky hills. It's fed by large water bodies and the Kamleshwar Dam. Gir has about 400 lions and 300 leopards, making it one of the major big cat concentrations in India. You can explore them in their natural habitat to tiny wild birds, not seen easily but heard singing in the forest canopy, to crocodiles floating in the marsh waters.
Welcome back. You're watching Rajya Sabha television. Well, stepping up the growth pitch, Economic Affairs Secretary Shaktikanta Das has expressed confidence that the economy will grow upwards of 7% next fiscal. Drawing on Finance Minister Arun Jaitley's statements, the Secretary said there will be transient impact of demonetization on the economy, but it will not spill over to the next fiscal. Das also claimed that a large part of the economy was moving towards digital transactions, and despite global headwinds, India's growth remains much stronger. He also listed various reforms measures announced in the budget, dubbing the announcement on contract farming and UGC as very big reforms.
This budget maintains consistency in policy of the government with regard to reforms and with regard to tax policy. Over the last, this is the fourth budget, and over the last 2.5-3 years, there is a strong element of consistency. With regard to reforms, if you see some of the reform measures taken by the government over the last 1 year in particular have been listed out by the Finance Minister in his speech. We have the GST today, which is going to become a reality at the end of the first quarter of next year. That's on 1st July. I think that's the biggest tax reform since independent India.
Well, let's now bring you some news from across the country and nationwide. The Election Commission has sought the AIADMK's response on a complaint filed by sacked leader Sasikala Pushpa against the election of VK Sasikala Natarajan as Party General Secretary. Pushpa's complaint claimed that Natarajan's election violated procedure. Pushpa told the Election Commission that Natarajan's elevation as the General Secretary of the party was carried out in an undemocratic manner. Karnataka BJP President B.S. Yediyurappa today claimed that veteran politician S.M. Krishna, who recently resigned from the Congress, will join the BJP soon. Krishna quit the Congress last week. He alleged that he was being sidelined in the party because of his age. Two militants were killed in an encounter with security forces in Baramulla district of Jammu and Kashmir. Two police personnel were hurt in the operation. Security forces launched an operation in Amargarh area of Baramulla district this morning following information about presence of militants in the area. Moving on to some international news now, where a U.S. judge in Seattle issued a temporary nationwide block on President Donald Trump's ban on travelers from 7 mainly Muslim nations. Federal Judge James Robart ruled against government lawyers' claims that U.S. states did not have the standing to challenge Trump's executive order.
In a severe legal blow yet to the ban on immigrants, a U.S. federal judge put a nationwide block on U.S. President Donald Trump's week-old executive order that temporarily bars refugees and nationals from 7 Islamic countries from entering the United States. The restraining order issued by the Seattle judge will remain valid nationwide, pending a full review of a complaint by Washington Attorney General Bob Ferguson.
It's obviously a historic decision and an important one for the rule of law and for the people of the state of Washington and the people of our country. I said from the beginning, it is not the loudest voice that prevails in a courtroom. It's the Constitution. And that's what we heard from Judge Robart today.
Last week's travel ban order led to continuous protests and confusion at U.S. airports. Customs officials told U.S. airlines that they can resume boarding banned travelers while a legal case is heard.
My mom's currently out of the country and she's a green card holder, and the executive order has been very flip-floppy about who's under and who's not, and it's just been very stressful for our family to try to figure out, what's going to happen if my mom comes back into the country.
Demonstrations were also held outside the White House in Washington. The temporary restraining order represents a major challenge to Trump's action, although his administration could still appeal the ruling and have the policy upheld. The Justice Department says it will appeal against the Seattle ruling. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Now here's a roundup of the other international news and global buzz. The United Nations removed the name of a former Afghan warlord from its ISIS and Al-Qaeda sanctions list. Leader of Islamist organization Hezb-e Islami Gulbuddin Hekmatyar was removed from the list, which means his assets will not be frozen and he will be free to travel. Hekmatyar, who battled US forces after the 2001 invasion and nursed bitter rivalries with other Afghan factions, agreed to lay down arms last year. After US imposed fresh sanctions on Iran, US Defense Secretary James Mattis called Iran the world's biggest state sponsor of terrorism. Mattis, however, said that there was no need to increase troop numbers in the Middle East in response. The fresh sanctions were slapped against Iran following its recent ballistic missile test. Iran has reacted to the sanctions, saying it will take reciprocal action. Rohingya Muslims living in refugee camps in Bangladesh welcomed a report by the UN on the alleged atrocities against the community by Myanmar security forces. A UN report on Friday said that Myanmar security forces committed mass killings and gang rapes of Rohingya Muslims. In reaction, Myanmar government has assured of an investigation. Well, let's now shift focus and bring you up to speed with some sports news. In a major feat, India's Lakshya Sen became the world #1 junior badminton player. In the latest rankings, 15-year-old Sen moved ahead of Chia Hao Li of the Chinese Taipei to attain the top spot. The young shuttler has had a successful year on the badminton circuit in 2016, winning Senior India International Series and All India Senior Ranking Badminton Tournament. In the Davis Cup, New Zealand on Saturday made a comeback against India by winning the doubles match. Indian duo of Leander Paes and Vishnuvardhan lost to Kiwi pair of Michael Venus and Artem Sitak 3-6, 6-3, 7-6, 6-3. Despite the loss, India heads the tie 2-1, having won both their singles matches on Friday. Australia became the first team to reach the Davis Cup quarterfinals after taking an unassailable 3-0 lead over the Czech Republic. Australia's Sam Groth and John Peers defeated Czech Republic's Jan Satral and Jiří Vasily in the doubles match on Saturday to steal the win. In another tie, Novak Djokovic helped Serbia build a 2-0 lead in their first round tie against Russia. Well, Chelsea moved 12 points clear at the top of the Premier League with a comfortable 3-1 win over Arsenal. Marcos Alonso gave the Blues the first half lead. Eden Hazard and Cesc Fabregas then added 2 more in the second half before Olivier Giroud gave a consolation goal to Arsenal. Well, that's it on this edition of the News Tonight. Have a good weekend.